TalkinRonpa. Welcome back to the
Hey.
hey hey. Welcome back to the Danganronpa V3 mini podcast, where Blindcat and I just have a little conversation about our playthrough of Danganronpa V3. Right off the bat, I want to say if you haven't played the first Danganronpa or the second one, don't listen to this. If you haven't played V3 up to where we're at, don't listen to this. That point today is the end of the Chapter 1 trial, and the things that follow it, ending out Chapter 1.
There's not actually too much to talk about today.
Yeah, this is a post-trial, so we don't have many questions, we have more answers than anything else, and if you've played the game, you have those answers too.
And
So,
our last talk, we covered quite a bit of what was going to happen.
yeah,
Turned out.
I want to admit, okay, I was wrong. I said in the previous video that the ultimate cosplayer was Sumigi Shirogane. Her name is actually Sumugi with a U. So I admit fault. I should have been paying more attention to this story. That's all I have
You
to
should never
apologize
even
for.
bother learning character names.
But I was right in the important part where it counted. I called the victim
Being Gonta.
that one of the Mono Cubs would die in the trial.
I was surprised about that. It was not Monotaro, though.
No, I thought it would be Monotaro, but only because I didn't remember the blue one's name at the time. I neglected.
Mono Kid.
Yeah, I neglected to put the Mono Cubs' names to memory, but
Well,
now.
those are the only names I remember.
Damn, we should have combined together with our ultimate talents combined.
So, are you proud or disappointed in Monodam?
Well, they've already set the precedent that a Mono Cub is going to die in each trial. So the thing to predict now, is it going to be Monodam killing everybody who bullies him, or is somebody going to take revenge against Monodam next time?
Do you think any of the students were piloting the Mono Cubs?
None of these 16.
Because, I mean, Mono Kid was behaving rather erratically before his demise.
Yeah, he was the one that
Dead drunk on honey?
Yeah, he was the one that screwed up the memory in the very first instance of the prologue, or he got blamed for it. About one of these 16 controlling Monokuma, or one of the Mono Kids. After the trial, Monokuma seems to bring up the point that maybe one of these isn't the mastermind this time around.
Mm-hmm.
They were just all taking that for granted for no reason, as if they had played the previous games. So
Suichi. It's all Suichi's fault.
So we as the players got roped into that because of Shuichi and our past experiences.
So, yeah, if you were playing Danganronpa 3, you should definitely not play the first two first.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So that brings up the question: who swiped a card key to knock the dust out of that secret door
The first time?
the first time? And how did they know not to use it the second time?
Suichi.
They haven't mentioned
The one who set it up?
Oh my god, what?
I don't think so.
No. Especially because of how the trial turned out, I don't think so. They haven't mentioned a traitor yet, which is another staple of the series.
A mole?
One of these 16 has to be a traitor working for whoever the students think is behind the killing game. In the second game, they thought it was the Future Foundation behind it, and the traitor was working for the Future Foundation, but they weren't the mastermind behind the killing game.
And the mastermind was not one of the 16, not really.
No, it was not one of the 15 that actually belonged there, so maybe this time around, all of the 16 do belong?
I wonder if there's going to be, like in the first game, any extra players there.
Oh, giving you the 15 cast and then the +1 they mentioned later?
Hmm.
Well, chapter 2, we should at least get an alternate personality for alter ego for one of these people. Either a
What do you mean?
legitimate or pretend serial killer.
Oh, that kind of alter ego, not like
No, not alter
the AI.
ego.
I was like, what is the precedent for alter ego appearing here?
That's not until chapter 3.
Alter ego did show up in both games, though.
Yeah. So potentially she's still floating around, depending on when this game takes place and how connected the events are to the previous two.
Featuring alter ego as the voice of Atua.
Oh my. If they're in the simulation again, would not the programmer be the voice of Atua?
Oh no. Then Angie's the mole because Angie's the only one who can hear Atua.
Hmm. They haven't, during that trial, did Atua have any contradictions? I want to say that there was.
Atua made a lot of bad calls.
So we could check that up to human error on Angie's part. Maybe she's misinterpreting it, or maybe Atua isn't the all-seeing divine creature paints him to be.
Or Atua doesn't actually exist.
What the? Wouldn't it be in line with... Oh no, she's not the ultimate diviner. If she was the ultimate diviner, she could, in theory, use a supernatural ability like Nagito had ultimate luck, but she's not.
Magic.
Not the ultimate mage. There were some things in the trial that surprised me, even though so much of it went the way we expected it to. The biggest thing, I thought, they did not mention once how Ryoma took down the Mafia by killing them with a tennis racket and a steel ball. But he entirely could have committed this murder because he had no alibi.
Yeah, they decided not to take that direction. Maybe
Because
it was a back door?
yeah, he could have slid open the back door.
No, I mean, maybe the
Oh.
trial could have gone that way had you found the back door.
Because they do mention, once they introduce the lie bullets, they mention that you can take an alternate path through a trial by lying instead of doing the contradictions. I interpreted that as a shortcut, or just like a alternate path to the same conclusion, but you think of it as we could come to a different conclusion?
No, I think it is an alternate path, but it would lead the trial in a different way.
Oh, so maybe that would bring up Ryoma.
Yeah, maybe that would have brought up Ryoma.
We never had any evidence that would clear him, the thing.
Maybe something would have come up, but there's also the first trial. There was not a lot of weak points.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what difficulty settings are you?
Oh, I just left it on normal.
Normal. I play on mean.
Oh.
I think you're doing a disservice to at least not put logic on mean.
Logic effects.
Logic affects not the action or the skill to interpret things, but it'll probably show with more fake weak points, things you're not supposed to shoot the bullet at, more available truth bullets that you're not supposed to fire.
Okay.
And then action is like the speed of the text moving around in the mini games.
I've missed so many of those V points.
Yeah, I kept shooting for the V point, and they always put it like on the very end of the dialogue box, so my bullet just goes flying right past it.
Yeah, then you have to cycle through the entire thing again, and
Yeah.
you lose that on time.
And it was worth it. I got a lot of mono coins at the end. Another thing they didn't explain in the trial, which I thought was going to be the turning point, clearing Aede's name, the blood that Rontaro left on the camera and his hand was never mentioned at all. And it doesn't fit in with the series of events.
Couldn't have just been from splatter, though.
It splattered specifically on his hand that he touched the camera with, and specifically on the camera.
No, just on the camera.
Button. No, that was specifically on the power button section of it, where the battery was. I remember because I was expecting it, and they never brought it up, so
I think you're just misremembering.
I think Kaede didn't get a kill shot, and Monokuma or the Mastermind finished it off for her and kept it quiet.
I don't think Monokuma can cheat.
They say Monokuma can't cheat.
Well, it'd be a disservice to his own game. Also, it would ruin the game in too many ways for the player.
We're not sure that this Monokuma has much connection to the previous two. The previous two were controlled by Junko. She played by the rules.
But for the sake of a good game, there has to be something that some stuff that the player has to be able to take for granted. Some things that the player has to be able to trust.
Mm-hmm.
So if the rules can be so freely broken, it would just kind of ruin a lot.
I think from a gameplay perspective, this is something that wouldn't come up until the final trial. If there's always like something that doesn't make sense about the trial, and it gets brought up at the very, very end, I think that way it doesn't affect the gameplay, the logic, how the game works. I doubt that that'll happen, but it's something that I haven't ruled out. Normally, they're so detailed about explaining everything. Crime scene is exactly how it should be. It seems weird that it doesn't get mentioned. Like, if you got hit on the head with the iron ball while inspecting the camera, would you then touch the wound, turn off the camera, and die? Or would you just die?
You might have time to grab your head before you lose consciousness and die. Bleed out.
I think it did say the wound was an instant kill.
You might have also, or your body might have also reflexively touched where you got hit.
Yeah, if it splattered on the camera first, then he fell, touched his head, that would be a way to write it off.
So, I feel a little bad for Rentaro, because no one felt bad for Rentaro.
Oh.
Completely overshined by the fact that Kaede was the blackened.
Oh, yeah, the entire thing's normally about mourning for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Rentaro, nobody knew about
Rentaro was rather aloof.
And also could be the mastermind for all they know. He
was kind of cleared.
Yeah, the very first round of nonstop debate cleared him of being the mastermind. But it doesn't.
For all anyone knows, he was just a completely innocent victim here.
Or he's completely culpable. He could have been the traitor.
No one felt bad for Rentaro.
Oh, maybe the blood disparity will get cleared up because Rontaro's not actually dead, just like Junko Nishima wasn't. We'll find a corpse with the skull crashed in and the face burned off later. We'll think it's somebody else.
Ultimate body double.
Ultimate mastermind. He could be the ultimate imposter, for all we know.
Again.
Yeah. Before the weight was put on.
Oh, he was so useless. He could have been so much better if he had only just figured out what his ultimate ability was. I'm sure that's never gonna get brought up again.
Wouldn't that be the pits if it never is? He did have his monopad out. That was something I was surprised by not getting answered in this trial. No card key found for that door. And the door was never opened up, so we don't know where it leads. I really thought that was going to be part of how the murder was, or at least part of the discussion of how the murder took place, was they would need to find out where that door goes and where the key card is.
It was more about the fact that no one used it.
Yeah, that no one used.
So, like, it was brought up that it could have been a hiding spot, but it wasn't used, so it couldn't have been.
But that means that we'll have to return to this area later. That we're not done with this part of the game world because we don't have the card key yet, unless it's like the end game type of thing. They introduced in the second game that Hope's Peak, that fake Hope's Peak, and it was locked in the second chapter, and you didn't get to go into it until like the 5th or the 6th.
Were there 6 chapters?
Yeah, The 6th chapter was the Junko chapter.
Mm.
It was after things started getting glitchy. After the trial, Monokuma says that Rontaro might have been onto something.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate that he died for you guys, because his hunch may have been correct. So, whatever Rontaro was up to at the time with his monopad out, library, seems weird that they bothered with that detail. The monopad was out, if it's inconsequential.
It's probably forever important for something. It could be that for some reason, like the monopad is what's going to be used to open up areas. Because there were some unlockable looking stuff around.
You mean outside the school?
Yeah. Like there's the section of the castle.
With the big wooden door.
Yeah, but all of them kind of look like they have some kind of special key for them. Like there's an hexagonal screw or something on the castle area.
And there's a lot of those statues around that seem to be of no consequence.
There's also the weird ninja with the mask. The place in the hallway that's missing some kind of a talisman or something. The dragon that's missing an eye. The place behind a bunch of vines that has a music score.
Yeah. So I think those are the things that are going to get unlocked with each chapter to set new grounds for murders to take place. Maybe we're going to get a talisman and go unlock
I don't know
something.
if it's going to be related to the monopad or not, though.
No, I don't think that is. I think maybe the dust did go away on that card reader once, so somebody used it. I thought maybe the monopad would unlock the door somehow, and the keycard reader is just like a false thing.
But then why would the dust fall out unless someone swiped it?
Yeah, that's why that theory doesn't work. Unless it was the mastermind or the traitor, a culpable student, knew that the dust was placed there because of cameras.
And swiped something to just throw it off?
Yeah, just knew to knock the dust off. Or maybe they saw the camera because they're working for Monokuma. They don't have the ability to open that door, but they swipe something through to get the dust off to cause panic in the group. Think that one of the 16 is the mastermind to get a murder to happen. When did you exactly stop? Right after
when you get the save point. Yeah.
That's where I stopped too. But on my way to the save menu, because I manually saved after that, you go into the option, there's a little thing in the handbook, a little new icon, one for your present from Kaede, and one for the handbook, because you have a new skin.
Yeah.
Now that we've changed to Shuichi, we have a new dress-up skin for our handbook.
Yeah, and it's also set default.
Yeah. But I'll probably play as Kaede's handbook out of her memory. There was like 30 of them.
Did you go to the extras?
Yeah, I checked out the extras. It's the standard. You can buy the cutscenes and the stills and the music.
I mean, after a trial, did you go to the extras?
I don't think so. There's something new?
You can unlock the free times that you've seen now. And I see why they now gave us that ability.
You mean you could go play the ones you've already seen again?
Yes.
But only the ones you've already seen?
Yes.
Oh, so you can see how Shuichi reacts instead?
No.
I assume that they were the same.
They are not.
Oh. I assumed that they were just written generically, so it didn't matter if you did it before or after.
Next to the ones that I've done, there's a picture of Kaede next to him.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's 4 sets of Kaede free times probably with everyone except for Miyu.
Yeah, everybody who's still in Rontaro. Well, they stopped that before the murder. So yeah, there should be 4 because if you went to one person 4 times in a row. Does Shuichi have any with Kaede?
Well, you talked to Shuichi, right?
Yeah.
I don't know because I've only seen they only let you see the ones that you've unlocked.
Oh, okay. Because I went to Shuichi as Kaede during my free time and gave him a present, and it didn't trigger any dialogue because I gave him
I
a
would
bad
assume
present.
there would probably be free times written if they did
Okay,
every single one for Kaede that she could have done.
that's cool. Did you check your report card after the switch?
The two X's?
To see if your level carried over from Kaede to Shuichi?
Oh, no, I did not.
Not your character's level, I mean your level of
Friendship?
intimacy. Yeah, your friendship level
Yeah, no,
and
I did
friendship
not.
shards. Everybody. Because if I have to start all over talking to Kibo, I'm gonna be mad. Not even
At
the
least
pro.
the dialogue will be different.
Yeah, I guess it'll have to be for these. If you go up to Tanko, sure Kaede will get a different reaction than Shuichi. Did anything get throw you for a loop during the actual murder?
I didn't think of the bookcase initially, but it became pretty obvious.
The bookcase.
Blocking the shot.
Oh, of the camera.
Yeah, it was a good call on the roll-up poster.
Yeah, they drew specific mention to that just so it could be cleared up seconds later. Don't you think it's kind of suspicious? Maki Harukawa, her ultimate talent.
In what way?
She's the ultimate child caregiver, and Monokuma is the child bear giver because he delivered us the Monokubs.
Oh, because he's childbearing? I don't know.
And the bears are children?
I
Oh, so you consent.
don't think so.
No, I heard the consent in there. What'd you think of the new mini games? The trial.
I'm surprised we didn't have a logic dive.
Yeah, usually they save a couple of new ones for the second and third trial. I thought the
The
logic.
logic dive was how you usually end it, right?
Yeah, usually there's a logic dive, but I really like the new ones.
The armament,
Armament.
the better version of the machine gun talk.
Oh, where Kaede got a new costume.
Yeah, I want everyone to be a murderer now.
Those aren't always the murderer. The culprit doesn't always go into that
Oh, right.
sequence.
I want
Sometimes,
everybody to
yeah, I want to
have a
see all
machine gun talk about now.
the alternate costumes.
Rentaro do.
Yeah, even Rantaro, bring him back. I specifically liked when the team is split on what they believe. It's split into equal parts because that's how the arguments sometimes go, where half of them don't believe the other half, and you have to argue each point from each character.
And then you yell at someone on your side to.
I'll do it. I think they started you off simple. You just find the word that's in their argument on your team's argument, but I think that's gonna get really cool.
Tricky.
Yeah, it's gonna get really cool. And then of course the three-way discussions where everybody's just talking over each other, also really cool. Even though I really like the Phoenix Wright series, every time they try to introduce something that's not something gameplay-wise that's not just here's a contradiction, what they say by presenting an evidence, it doesn't work.
Some of the mini games are not that great. Apollo
point out the nervous tick or change their emotions shouldn't be there. None of it works except for the presenting contradictory evidence.
Well, maybe
the
Spirit of
Magatama.
Justice will change your mind.
Oh, I haven't played it. But Danganronpa, the gameplay, it's like an actual game. Every time it just
yeah,
gets
it's all
better.
about the minigames. It's all about the minigame trials.
It gets better and better every time. The improvement they made to the sword fight. You played 2 on the Vita, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember how that worked? How that controlled the sword fight?
Did it auto-lock?
Yeah, you used the D-pad or swiped on the screen, and it went in one of the 8 cardinal directions. And you just had to choose whichever way their text was going. This time you used the analog stick, and you can
rotate.
You can only rotate as far as you've pushed back their argument to get more of a radius. And what'd you think of that execution?
It was terrible as usual, but it was fairly tame compared to some of the other ones.
Are you talking about the first game?
Yeah.
I think Million Fun goes just by virtue of it being the very first one that you see sticks with you as like a horrible thing. That was Leon's
Yeah.
very first
That
trial.
was
From
pretty terrible.
the ones in 2, I think uh because it was like a simulation environment, they got too wacky to like impact you that way. Like getting dropped into
The volcano?
yeah, getting dropped into a volcano or the uh stampede of bison, and then Fuyuhiko interferes with Pekko's, and this time they make a good point to stop that with the exisals. You're not allowed to interfere with the executions this time. And
So you just have to go through the exits.
exisal through the gift shop.
Even Suichi was ready to fight.
Was he?
Yep.
I did.
He stopped all of them.
Did you notice any unlocking of an exisal fight minigame?
No.
It wasn't great. It was. I liked that it was there, but it didn't control so great. The Monomi versus the Mono Beast game.
It was not very challenging, but the controls were a little bit awkward. But it was fun that it was there.
Did you play through all of those?
Yes.
Even the versus Monokuma one?
Yes.
Oh my. I grinded for all of the drops to get the trophy. Because I'm an idiot. It was a clear mark of people that are used to making like a visual novel game trying to make an actual game. Like the team wasn't suited to that or didn't have the resources to pour in to make it good.
I think they're somewhat making the game's control bad on purpose. Like the little mini game for.
It's supposed to make you give up, hate it.
But you gotta grind.
I think that's why they made that one so grindy in the second game, was definitely on purpose. In addition to leveling up your character by just running around in a circle. Not using fast travel. But I would like to fight the Exisals. Maybe they'll make it fun this time. I also hope there's a Dangan Life
There's one
3.
less of them now, though.
Oh yeah, I guess it just goes away when Mono Kid dies.
Yeah, the Exisals are not
they made that point that
autonomous.
Yeah.
They can only be piloted.
Yeah, so I guess that's how they take care of the Exisals one at a time. I can't imagine that only one Mono Kid's gonna die. And if I had to put money on the next one to die, it'll be Mono Kid. Or Monodam.
Mono Kid is already dead.
Monodam. I think
Monodam?
I think Monotaro or Monosuke will take his revenge.
I think Monotaro is going to go next.
You think Monodam's going to kill him and then somebody will take revenge on Monodam?
I don't know if it's going to be Monodam, but I have a feeling it's going to be Monotaro. If Monodam kills Monotaro, then Monodam is next. It's just for the sake of him being the red one, and so he should be the one who lasts till the end.
You think Monotaro should last to the end?
No, because he's the red one, so he's the leader. He should be lasting to the end. I would see him easily being killed off second.
He also has no distinct personality like the others.
Wah, 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 wah.
I think Monophony is going to be third, no matter what. Which is a shame, because she's the best one.
Oh no. Is Monodam the serial killer?
The secret serial killer, whoever's controlling Monodam. So, before we wrap this up, that's everything we needed to cover that happened in the past, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look towards our future.
What?
What do you got for chapter?
This isn't hope. This isn't despair.
It's just whatever.
It's just disgusting.
I'm down for whatever. Okay, so we switched to Suichi. We're down to 14 people. We've got a protagonist that makes sense. He fits in with the previous games. A boy. Not really sure of his talent.
He's gonna be needing to lean on people a lot more.
We're setting up Maki as his number 2.
Maybe.
Unless that's a fake out.
I see her as the best candidate for it, although they haven't really interacted too much.
I had the passing thought if this was Kirigiri with dyed hair, but she's got exposed hands, so it can't be. I don't trust that she's the ultimate child caregiver because everybody makes the point that she doesn't seem like that.
She did mention it was something that
Was forced
just
on
kind
her.
of was thrust upon her because she grew up in an orphanage, older than the other kids, so she just naturally had to have taken on the role of a child caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like kids, but they like her for some reason. And
Oh no.
I mean, it doesn't. Being a child caregiver doesn't really have to do anything with whether or not you you don't have to like your ultimate talent.
Yeah, I guess not.
It's just whether or not you're good at it.
Shuichi's 0 for 2 in liking his ultimate talent. So, talking victims for chapter 2. What are you thinking?
They're all going to get out in chapter 2, and no one else has to die.
Ooh, a twist.
Everybody makes it through. Rentaro gets up, and Kaede was off screen.
That was another thing from previous case. I misinterpreted what they were going for with the first blood perk. I thought it was supposed to be apparent why the killer didn't come forward, because out of guilt, shame, they didn't want to expose themselves.
Kaede couldn't take it instead because that would mean she would go free, but she wanted to confess to the crime.
Yeah, because if she went free, then she wouldn't be able to expose the mastermind.
Yeah, and also she would be kind of betraying everybody.
She would have gotten off on the back of an innocent.
Free, that's not what murder. She wanted.
That was a twist. That was the one thing regarding the crime I didn't see coming. That and the encyclopedias being opened to direct the ball to a more narrow path at the very end.
I mentioned that the iron ball rolling through the vent would have been extremely loud.
Yeah, because neither of us remembered the fact that the music was playing very loud.
I think it's pretty interesting because the music was not something that Kaede planned for at all.
Yeah, she couldn't have known.
Nope. This murder would not have worked at all.
Pretty suspicious, Kaede.
Oh. Do you think it was something of
Monokuma was looking out for her
on purpose
to make it work?
To make it work.
Yeah, because he would have seen the plans.
Yeah.
Oh, going back.
A little helping hand.
Yeah, because there's no really benefit for him to do it otherwise.
But yeah, this was a murder that would not have worked at all had it not been for a little bit of an extra help there.
That's interesting. So maybe Monokuma isn't as hands-off as he wants to come across.
Wouldn't kill any of you bastards
directly, but maybe if I needed a little help from my friend. In the very first time we did this, you were thinking that Kaede maybe had lapses in memory. That's when she committed the thing, did up and actually put it in motion.
Yeah, I'll admit, before the investigation phase, I was really suspicious of Kaede just because she was too goody of a character. I thought there was something wrong with her.
Okay.
But I guess that was not the case.
Yeah, it happened right in front of our noses, and we didn't notice because it happened in blue text, vaguely, that she picked up and put in her backpack everything she was holding.
Yeah, she was holding.
Which happened to be... And then every part of the setup took place in a time jump, where she was rearranging those books. And then she dropped everything she was holding to run after Shuichi, which happened to be shot football. So no, they did it right in front of my face, and I didn't see it.
I was not suspicious at all until I saw where Rentaro died and the blood splatter, so. And I immediately thought of the bookshelf. I was like, wait a minute.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, throughout Kaede's entire setup, I didn't even think about any of it. It just, once we started talking though, it just started falling into place more and more.
Oh, the non-stop debate.
The truth.
And
Exposing the truth and the lies.
the lies that I'm going to commit. We were wondering last time about Cospox, if that was going to be something that was set up for later, because
It was brought up
that we had to
for
do.
everybody this time.
Yeah, it was just part of this trial, just to clear Samuki. I thought it would be something to, I guess, in perpetuity, it's also going to clear her of being a doppelganger, future trials too. But then that doesn't leave much that she can do, like with her ultimate talent.
They even mentioned like her talking about cosplaying people from history wouldn't work either.
Yeah,
because they're real people.
Just fictional characters. So that means
she can dress up as Monoware, right?
Oh my god, he's not real. He's not. So does that mean she has to be a victim, not a culprit? Because everything interesting
she just make it to the end.
Everything interesting she can do with her talent has been written out. So she's just gonna die or just gonna live?
She's going to last until she can't make offhanded remarks to anime.
Yeah, that is a point in the survive column. She's gonna keep making almost copyright anime references
until she runs out of popular anime. Then she's gonna die.
Obscure anime. I've only understood one of those references.
I've understood all of them.
Oh no!
Except for maybe one.
The Death Note? Okay, I don't think Shuichi's going to die as the victim or the culprit in Chapter 2. Just going out on a limb there. So that leaves 13.
Tsuichi definitely isn't going to be dying, because it's way too much work to be writing more free time dialogue.
Oh my god, there's actually every permutation of character for free times. Just
depending on what backdoors you take, you can actually make it through with any mix and match of the characters.
Anybody could have actually committed the Rontara murder. There are thousands of chapters in this game, depending on what you do.
Dozens of endings.
So who do you gonna say is gonna fall next? This is guesswork, but I guessed right very first chapter.
There's because there was an ultimate question mark, and how the other games handle things. They could be trying. There's no implications this time, though, going into the second chapter. Nothing you can really draw on.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what the motive is and what character development they choose to take.
Mew's ultimate lab is still open. Kaede's
it's also been
I
used
guess,
already.
Free access. I wonder if there are any more labs that are going to get open now.
I imagine that they're just going to open several each chapter for the new stuff to explore, and they might always be related to the story.
Also, Kaede's lab was not locked, and I guess anyone could have just gone in there.
Yeah, after it was.
I don't know if they're locked initially or anything.
It was locked initially and then got unlocked at a certain point, but I don't know if it's unlocked.
Oh no, I mean by 4 of the characters. Like you can't go into the inventor's lab or something.
Oh, I interpreted that as Mew just keeping people out of her lab. Maybe that's where we get to go when we complete the 3 times with them instead of going to their room.
That would be a lot more interesting.
Because normally their room is decorated like their talent would suggest anyways.
But if we rush someone whose lab's not open yet, wouldn't that be weird?
Oh, somebody dies before we find their lab?
Before their lab gets opened.
Oh. Maybe they won't be locked. Maybe they'll just be part of the new environment opened. They were only locked because the beginning of the game didn't.
They were still working on them.
Yeah.
You think like next chapter they'll just open them all up or something?
Just open up the ones we find. Next area.
Just open up the ones for the characters, I mean. Like everyone has access to her lab, so if you were able to max out somebody, then you can enter a lab.
Oh,
otherwise, if they're opening up sequentially and they're still being worked on, it wouldn't make sense.
Because if you get to like level 5 of a character before you reach chapter 4 or whatever, when you find their lab,
And
it
their
would.
lab gets actually completed.
Got it.
But you get invited to their lab, and it
Hmm.
wouldn't continuity sense.
Maybe Kaede goes to their room, Ichi goes to their lab.
No, Kaede can't go to, and because Kaede can't get that tie in everyone's.
Oh,
She only has
less
4 free times.
post game gives you a Dongan Islands where you get to play as either protagonist.
A Dongan prison
Ugh.
for juveniles.
I hate to say it, but I don't think Ryoma's long for this game. He's too good.
But can't he fill the same shoes Takami did?
Oh, just because he's so knowing.
Collected.
Yeah.
So as a foil to the Negi character.
And the stupid.
He's more sure of himself.
Because normally they have like 2 people who actually knows what's going on besides the protagonist. 2 competent people. Kogami and Kirigiri, Chiaki and Nagito. So that would be Maki and
Ryoma.
Out of the boys, yeah, Ryoma. Okay, let's kill off Gonta. Marking it off, Gonta's gonna die. And it's gonna be a big thing about who could have killed Gonta, who has the strength to kill Gonta. And let's say, depending on the motive, Kibo is actually strong enough.
And he's hiding it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be exactly what you suspect? Or would it be that it's been so well established that he's weak, but then you have to find out, or you have to point out something that would have been impossible for Kibo? But
yeah, you have to trick him into admitting that he did something. That's where if I had these cast of characters and I had to write a murder mystery, it would involve Gonta dying and somebody not having the ability to kill him. Locking it in. What do you have?
But Gonta wouldn't die. That's ungentlemanly.
Oh, it's going to be a thing where Gonta wouldn't fight back because he was a gentleman. So maybe that narrows it down to a female killer. Would you care to put in a prediction that's going to be embarrassingly wrong?
Someone's going to Miyu is going to electrify a door, and try to walk through it, but Gonta has to rush in to keep the door open, and Miyu's going to take her sweet time walking through, but Gonta has to keep the door open.
Yeah, to keep holding that doorknob.
And so that's how he dies.
Oh my. Oh, so you're also going to say that Gonta is the next victim?
No.
No?
The next victim is going to be...
It's hard because we've killed off one boy, one girl, so it doesn't narrow it down to...
Yeah, so you can keep the cast somewhat even.
Yeah. They killed off 2 boys in the first chapter of the second game, so next victim had to be a girl. And
based on what we would think the final cast would be, I think they're just going to throw us for a loop, and it's going to be Angie or Maki.
Oh no.
Because those are both locks for making it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Angie or Maki instead.
Oh, do you think Chapter 2 is going to be Shuichi and Maki getting close, forming that bond, and then ripped away?
They're probably not going to partner with each other, but if it is Maki, they're probably going to have more chats.
I think it's too soon for Maki to get killed. I think
it's exactly why Maki can't get killed.
Can get killed?
Yep, because it's too soon.
Nah. There's gotta be. This is more filler chapter. We need to kill Maki off in chapter 4. After she gets too close to killing off Kaede, Shuichi together to repeat that dynamic. We need a chapter where Maki and Shuichi get trust together. Trial. So Angie,
after killing off the protagonist, I think the game would make you think, okay, so that's probably the big twist, and I can take it easy for now, and it's probably not going to be someone of consequence again. So they'll probably try to throw you for a loop, though.
Oh. And don't you think Angie's going to be a killer instead of a victim?
I see Angie as very easily manipulated.
Yeah, that too. Well, so is Kirumi.
But not everyone who's easily manipulated ends up being a murderer.
Okay, talking about parallels to the previous game. Hirumi, the ultimate maid, fulfills any request. Echo, the ultimate swordswoman, was acting in what she thought was the request. She committed murder. Maybe they're going to set up a fake out where you think Hirumi aided in a murder.
You might. The characters might believe it, but Kurumi's not. She's not in service to anyone there in particular, so.
Yeah, that's why it's dangerous, because she's in service to, in general, she's just in service.
Yeah.
So she could
have some kind of wider motive like how Kaede's was, I guess. Where it's more serving to everyone.
Yeah, she has already mentioned like twice that she just lives to serve and complete requests for others, so that's going to be a dynamic in at least a trial. So she's not going to be the next victim. She's innocent, or she's safe. Himiko gonna get killed off, but I don't think this chapter. You're locking in as Maki?
Yeah, okay. I'll say Maki.
Okay, and who done it?
Kaito,
because you think, for the same reasons, do you think Maki's gonna get killed off just because no one suspected?
Yes. No, because I don't. I think Kaito right now is fulfilling a role for keeping Suichi up intact.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be the most heartbreaking thing if
got him.
The one who's certainly just trying to support you is the one you have to suspect.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it would definitely surprise me if Kaito was a killer. It depends on the motive, I think. The motive plays a big part determining who's going to do the next kill.
I mean, given that now it's Suichi that's the main character, I think the game is just going to be super mean and make him suspect who he doesn't want to.
Oh, just to continue with that theme of the truth hurts, solving cases that always feel great.
It's not about hope or despair, or the future, it's about the truth.
Truth Foundation, the truther. Oh, are you saying Ultra Despair Academy was an inside job?
Sheffield can't melt steel simulations.
Oh no. What is Hirumi holding? Is that a feather duster?
I'm not looking at it, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, I am. Okay, then join us in Chapter 2 when we'll find that we were way off. For now, so long, farewell.